4 ways to build trust in your market with your SaaS products so you can generate more sales, build brand awareness, and paint yourself as an authority in your field. So let's get into it. So I made a little presentation here, and we're just going to go through this. So why people don't buy from you, right? It's a trust issue. End of the day, it's a trust issue. They do not trust that you can deliver on your promise. It's honestly that simple. And I'm going to give you 4 ways to establish trust in your market so that you won't have this blocker in your sales call or your lead generation process. So step number 1 is referrals. So referrals are basically when people vouch for your product or service and they recommend you to a friend. This is because they've gotten so much value that they just have to share it. And this is typically the hallmark of a great company if it's when you're getting a lot of referrals, and this leads to a lot of organic growth. So you can stop all marketing, and the organic growth from your referrals will continue to grow the business and build your customer base. Referrals are great because they're very, very strong leads that are much more likely to close. And the reason is because if I have a great experience with your product and then I go and I share that with my friend, the trust that my friend has in me is going to immediately transfer to your product or service, right? So that's what happens when they go to now talk to you and learn about your product and service. There's so much trust and conviction that you can deliver results because 1, they've seen it happen to me, right? Because I'm going to tell them about my experience. And 2, they think, oh, if he can do it for Jay, he can do it for me. So that's where you need referrals because, and the way to get referrals is to just delight the customers and have a really, really great product experience and really make sure that you're providing so much value that they can't help but talk about it. You can also ask for referrals. You can do incentives for referrals. You can do referral marketing, etc. And the only issue that I have with this method in particular is that somebody can love your product and still not refer anyone else, but they'll still be a customer for life. This could be for a couple of reasons. 1 is your service is just good enough that they don't want to switch. The switching costs are too high, and the value you provide is just enough to keep them hooked, but they won't recommend you to someone else because then the inverse is also true. So if I recommend your product to someone because you made me a lot of money or made me look good, when that person also sees great results, they will look at me and be like, oh, Jay knows what he's talking about. Jay knows business because he gave me a great recommendation. So my clout goes up, my status goes up. And it can happen in reverse too. So if you're giving me a bad experience, I'm not going to tell my friends to go to you because they're going to be like, Jay, why would you recommend me to this vendor? They're terrible, right? And that's going to look bad on me. So that's why people don't refer you, even though they still buy from you, is because they don't believe that you can deliver similar results to somebody that they love and trust, and they don't want that to be reflected poorly on their reputation. So this leads to very unreliable, unpredictable methods of growth unless you are actively focused on this and nurturing this through incentives, marketing efforts, etc. So it's tough to build a business this way, and this shouldn't be your only acquisition channel. This should be really icing on the cake and a good North Star metric to know if you're doing a good job. The second way to build trust in your market is through testimonials. So the next step down from referral is a customer actually just vouching for your product, but just to you. And you have to distribute this yourself. Now, a referral is when a customer distributes the testimonial to other people, and a testimonial is when the customer gives you the vouch and you have to now distribute it, right? Obviously, this takes away an element of trust when you are the one distributing it because you always have to pay attention to not just what is being said, but who is saying it. So it seems that the message is just going to be a little bit less trustworthy. But there's still a great way to showcase that you can deliver on your promise because somebody has gone on video, attached their face and their name to your product, vouching for it. So what you need your testimonials, the format to follow is problem state into transformation into solve state. So what does that mean? Your problem state is where the customers are before your solution or product, right? It's the fears they're feeling, the pain they're feeling, what they were searching for, the emotions they were feeling, etc., and what their life looked like before your solution. Then you introduce your product and you have them talk about the transformation that your product delivered them. We generated so much more money. We saved X number of hours. We mitigated this much risk, or we identified way more opportunity because of this one feature. So you have to show the transformation that your product is providing these individuals. Then you want the individual to say in their testimonial more about their solved state. Now, this is the state of mind where they have used your product, they have achieved the transformation, and now we have to talk about What are their pains now? What are their fears now? Do they have the same fears and pains? What is their state of mind? What is their emotions? Are they happy they went with you? What would they say to somebody that is on the edge about going with you, right? So all of these different stages will really help a customer like articulate what the experience like was working with you. And that's what you want to showcase to other future clients, because they will be looking at your YouTube or your LinkedIn or whatever, and they're going to be wondering, will this work for me, right? What is the process? What is it like working with Jay, right? So that's where the testimonials and stuff comes in. So testimonials is number 2. All right. Number 3 is case studies. So case studies are just breakdowns of your step-by-step process for getting a client results. So you have to do the exact same thing. You have to show the transformation a client went through from the problem state to the solve state with your solution. So if you can show a viewer or a reader how your solution helps a customer similar to them, so same size company, same industry, same product, same ICP, so a legal person is going to care how another legal customer, dealt with their problem with your solution. They're not going to care as much of like an HR manager use your solution. They're going to care about people similar to them. They're going to trust you more because you've done this before. You've helped that legal person before. You've helped the HR manager before. You've helped someone in the SaaS industry. You've helped someone in the automotive industry, whatever. So they're going to believe if he did it for them, he can do it for me. Now, you have to go a step deeper. You have to show them exactly what this process looked like working with you so they can also understand if you're a good person to work with. So how deep did you go? How granular was your level of detail, like your analytics, your reporting? How did you deliver that? When support issues arose, how did you handle that, right? Did you do research beforehand before you implemented this solution? How was the implementation process? How are you monitoring results? So all these things are going to be important to a customer before they work with you because they want to know if they can work with you, right? So case studies are also great because you can show how your product specifically helps a customer and the end results. And the better the end results, the more trust is built in your prospect's mind. And now all of these things are examples of content, except the referral, of course, because that's the customer distributing it. But the other two are forms of content, and you can actually make just content by itself. That's not testimonials and case studies. And I'm going to explain how this helps build trust. So you need to view content as an online digital resume, right? If you're applying for a job, you can't not have a resume. So when you cold email someone or run an ad or they come across your business or hear about you from somewhere, they're going to look you up. Like, this is B2B, B2C SaaS. Like, these people are not buying software on a whim. So they're going to look you up. And then when they look you up on YouTube or Google and they don't find you, that tells them that you don't have a resume and you're not to be hired. You cannot be trusted. You cannot be hired. So this is where you need to make video. But why video and not text, right? You can do both and you should do both. But SEO and written content is just not enough anymore. With the rise of AI and ghostwriters, it's becoming harder to trust that the person you're buying from is actually writing the content you're reading. Now, you can have content writers, and that's fine. But a good competitive advantage is to have your face and name attached to that. If you're the one writing the articles, or you're the one on the video talking, the founder of Limelight is making the video. Like, he's the one in the trenches doing the stuff. And then when you hop on a sales call with me and then you see me, you're going to be like, oh, dude, I saw your video. Like, you actually know what you're talking about. You don't just have like an employee doing this. Like, you're actually doing this. So you know what you're talking about. So video puts so much trust into the prospect's mind because you have so much transparency. You can do AI with video, but it's still kind of choppy, still not super great. And if somebody's online like enough and they've seen a lot of videos, they can pretty much identify if something is AI. But until we get there, video is going to be the best way. So by having your face associated with your content, you're subconsciously also telling the viewer that you stand behind your product and service, which gives you skin in the game. So when you have skin in the game, you have investment in the game, people are going to trust you more. They're going to want to be more collaborative with you and give you more benefit of the doubt because you have something to lose, right? Your face and name are attached to it, and they're going to know like you're also going to work hard because that's your reputation on the line. So once a prospect joins your sales call, they're already familiar with your brand and your face and your product, which should make them easier to close because you've already built trust beforehand. So apart from your face being shown, video content builds trust because it showcases expertise. So a prospect can actually look through your socials, YouTube, website, and see everything that you've published. So think about it like this. Let's say somebody comes across your brand, they look you up on YouTube, and they see like 40 pieces of content. And they watch like 5 of them, right? These 5 pieces of content are going to answer questions for them. They're going to educate them on your product, on their problems that your product solves. And it's basically 8 conversations you've had with this customer, and you weren't even there for it. You made a video one time, and it had 3,200 views, let's say. That's 3,200 conversations you've potentially had with people. And that's 3,200 potential sales conversations. So a question they could ask on a sales call, that's a piece of content. And they could get their question answered before they ever join a sales call. And your sales call is now shorter, more efficient, more optimized. And this is the highest leverage thing. Like, you can have 3,200 conversations and only do it one time. And there's just no other medium like that. And that's why content is paramount to have. And video content is great because it's very personal and very transparent. So a large volume of these informational videos is going to paint you as an expert in your industry, as well as an expert on their problems. And so this is the most scalable and predictable way of building trust, because the inputs are 100% in your control. So I highly, highly urge that you make video content. If you don't have case studies, testimonials, and referrals, video content is a must. That is the absolute floor and the bar for what you need to do. And if you want help making video content, check out the link in my description. I help SaaS businesses with their video content strategy, making the videos, scripting, editing, ideation, all of that. So if that's of interest, check that out, and I will see you in the next video.